Kevin's family has about 1,200 acres there in central Montana. You know, the past couple of years, I've been out there hunting antelope with him, and we've had a ball doing it. We've had a lot of fun, but the deer and the elk, they're everywhere. So finally last year, I drew a deer tag. Hallelujah. And I'm off to Montana.
Get ready. With Keith Powell, Mike McCabe, and Ray Howell. Get ready for Sportsman of North America. Your ticket to the outdoors. This segment is brought to you by Downwind Sense.
Hi folks, welcome to this week's show. Glad you could be with us.
We're here in Denver. Looks like everything's running on time, so quick hop, skip, and a jump, and we'll be over in Billings and then heading to the ranch. I'm excited. Kevin's got a few deer that are pretty frequent. They're frequenting the alfalfa field there at his house, so I'm looking forward to seeing them, and then hopefully he'll get on a bull. We're hunting for the week. Sweet September. You know, hunting out west is my favorite type of hunting. In September, there's 6 or 7 big game species that you can start chasing with a bow and arrow. You got whitetail, mule deer, bear, elk, moose, mountain goats, sheep. I mean, everything. We're sitting in the Denver airport. Got one flight left. Be in Billings, Montana. Gonna hook up with Kevin. I love this time of year. Weather's getting cool. Football season's firing up. So hopefully we'll find that guy. Says he's in Montana. Yeah, I met my buddy Kevin through the Sportsman of North America website. That's one of the neat features that the social community that we have at Sportsman of North America offers people is you can get on there, interact with one another, and make some hunting friends, hunting buddies. Well, we've made it. We're in Billings, Montana, and we're about to hook up with Kevin. And I am praying that my bow made it.
21-14. Last Saturday, I drove down to Billings and picked my buddy Chad up. He was coming up here for a deer hunt, and
Kevin was there at the airport to meet me. It's good to see him again. We were giggling like kids at Christmas. Parking lot, taking a nap in the truck.
Oh, it's been a long. Got in here, got to bed at 1 and back up here at 6 this morning.
Gotcha.
How was the flight?
And the luggage made it, the bow made it. And we had about a 2-hour drive to get out to his place, and I'm just, 900 questions and just. So finally we make it out to Kevin's place, get the gear in the house, and I still need to check my bow to make sure the airlines took care of it. And so we probably weren't going to get to hunt that first afternoon, but went out, got the bow shot in, everything was pretty much where it needed to be, made a few minor adjustments.
That's what you wanted, is a yellow lab with a Care Bear in its mouth for your hunting video.
And then it was time to go scout.
so the first night we went out and kind of looked around for deer, sat up on the hill and glassed our meadows and stuff.
Where'd you go?
So we're sitting up on top of the hill, glassing the alfalfa field, and we see a couple of deer that I'd like to see a lot closer. Still no sign of the 2 bucks that Kevin had been seeing earlier in the season that he thought would be good ones to try to get on. But I could not wait for the next day to come. We're sitting up on a hilltop overlooking this alfalfa field, and we've got a few deer out there already. There's 1 buck out there. He's a 5x5.
Well, deer hunting here is mainly an afternoon deal this early in the year.
And the reason it's an afternoon only deal is because because it's a bunch of wide open fields.
It's real hard to approach your stands without bumping something, and you can only get away with that so much before they're going to completely relocate, and then it's just it's a cat and mouse game after that.
And so the next morning, you know, we decided to go look for elk.
And it's time to get into the action when we return, so stick around. Sportsman of North America is brought to you by Hard Rifles, Hunter's Safety System, MyPatriotSupply.com, Kicking Bear, Sportsman's Hunting Gear, Scentlock, Boss Buck, Downwind Scents, World Series of Whitetails, Diamond Archery, Gaddis and Gaddis, and Can Cooker. Sportsman of North America Hunting Club is the only online hunting community that gives away a hunt each and every week to our members. If you want to go on one of these exciting hunts, it's only a mouse click away at www.sportsmanna.com. Welcome back. This segment is brought to you by Boss Buck.
It's Sunday, September 11th, and the hunt has begun. We're out here for Kevin this morning. There's a bunch of elk in this one spot on his place.
So the next morning, you know, we decided to go look for elk, and then continue his deer hunt in the afternoons.
I wish he had some satellites with him.
And we were seeing some elk on the east end of our property, but they were a little bit further east than where I can go on somebody else's, and so it was just checking that every morning, and then come back and hang out and sit with Chad and try to get him a deer in the afternoon.
Get these Nikons clean. It's a Sunday, and it is hot in central Montana. It got up to 87 degrees today. I don't know if you can see the sweat on my face or not, but it's hot. Well, the first afternoon, we head out to this tower blind that the guys had built in one corner of the alfalfa field. I mean, I don't think 30 minutes went by and deer are already starting to come out of the river bottom. It was like, here we go. And you know, I'm seeing does and little bucks. That's our third buck. He just came out of the creek bottom. We still got about an hour to hunt. I look out and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's this big 10 point. So this big slick 10 comes out, and now we're playing that game with the clock. I don't know if we're gonna run out of light before he closes any distance, if he does close distance. So I'm sitting there watching him, I range him, and I think he was at about 70 yards, and it was great that first afternoon to see a shooter right off the bat. So it was like, hit list. I mean, he went on it immediately. There was no question. He had tines, he had beams, he had spread, just a beautiful deer. One thing that was working against us was that big, bright white moon up in the sky. We didn't look at our calendars when we planned the trip, and yeah, I was out there under a full moon pretty much. So. It's about 6:45. We're on day 2. And that second afternoon, 2 more shooters. One was a slick 5x5, as they call it out west. We call it a 10 point back home. And the other was a beautiful 8 point. This new slick 10, he was a mature deer. I think he was maybe 1 year younger than the buck that we'd seen the night before, but he was a mature deer, and I gladly would have slicked him if he'd have gotten in range. And the other was just this incredible 8 point buck, still in velvet. 3rd week of September, and this buck's still in velvet. But the other thing was, this buck had brow tines that went on for days. I mean, I'm talking 9 or 10 inch brow tines. I have never seen brow tines that big on a buck in the wild. So that second afternoon, 2 more on the hit list. And that second afternoon, guess who showed back up? That's right, numero uno. I've got a lot of time in front of me, and hopefully he'll make his mistake. But we got 2 new shooters there as well, so.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back. This segment is brought to you by Can Cooker.
It's our third afternoon and the weather has changed. It's chilly out here. I know I'm in my base layer right now, but I got my lucky hoodie. I'm probably gonna be putting it on because it's getting chilly. We got a wind out of the northeast. It's not quite perfect, but it's good enough to hunt. We're gonna hunt the tower stand one more time. I mean, why not? We haven't been busted. We've been seeing deer, good deer.
Because the weather was cooler, we figured there would be some earlier movement, and sure enough, there was.
We've been in the blind 30 minutes. This cooler weather has got them moving earlier. This buck appeared out of nowhere. We don't know where he came from. It's a new deer. This is not a deer we've been seeing. The closest he ever got was 55 yards. That's okay. He wasn't meant to be my buck tonight. Dang, that was cool to see him though.
We got back to the truck and I decided to pull up on this ridge overlooking this big creek bottom full of willows where the elk like to hang out on hot days, and there they are. There's some elk coming across through the willows right now. We got to get up this hill and get down there on this tree line. So we didn't even think about it. I grabbed my bow and bail off the hill, and I said, oh, I know where they're going to cross. And there's a kind of a corner there at the west end of our property where they like to jump the fence and go into our timber. Well, as we got down there, I kind of seen there was an opening to look. I could look through and see them, and they were kind of skirting around, lower because our cows were out in the middle of this pasture. And this little bull, he would kind of pulled away from the bigger bull and the few cows and calves that were there. And I told Chad earlier, I said, I ain't gonna shoot him. I said, I'll wait and shoot a cow, before I shoot him. I mean, there's a bigger 6-point there, and if he doesn't give me a shot, maybe I can get a shot at one of the cows. I do have 2 tags. I'm not sure where those elk went. I think they must be moving down the willows. There's a decent 6-point and about 3 or 4 cows and calves with them. There's a smaller satellite bull, a little 4 or 5-point right on the other side of this tree, just on the other side of the fence. He's gonna jump the fence. So this bull, the smaller bull that's already committed and coming to us, he gets closer and closer, and I pick up my bow and thinking about it. I don't know if he's gonna come right here. There's another trail right over here. He finally commits to one side, and when he started walking up and he put his head behind this bigger pine, pretty soon I find myself knocking an arrow, and pretty much committed now. He's right here. It's a little high, a little high. Still shaking. Even little bulls get me going. And I was only gonna shoot a cow down here. Here's spun out. Here's blood. Here's some blood. I think pretty good blood. He's right. Look at this. Holy smokes. And I am happy with this one. Can't complain one bit. You know, I'm on my family's property and there's a lot of elk around, just not a lot on ours right now. And this is, oh, I've been down here probably 7-8 days now, and you only get about 1 or 2 opportunities a year. And this is my first opportunity and I took it.
Way to go! We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back. This segment is brought to you by World Series of Whitetail.
So here we are, last day, you know, 4th quarter, bottom of the 9th, all those cliches, that's where we're at. And we're back in the tower blind.
It's been a fun week. It really has. I got to film my buddy Kevin shoot a bull with a bow. That was cool. We were both pumped. Got a beautiful rainbow outside the blind right now. We just had a doe and a fawn here at 20 yards. The deer are moving. Hopefully we'll get to let an arrow fly. Who knows? So we're down to our last 30 minutes, and you know, I open one of the windows, the side windows, and take a look out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I see tines. I don't know what deer it is, but I get the binoculars up and it's him. But he's still at that 60-yard mark. He's just off that trail a little bit that those does have, you know, came out on. And I'm just, oh my gosh, there he is. 30 minutes left. What's he gonna do? So he's standing there, he's looking out into the field, you know, checking out who's out there, and then he turns and goes back into the creek bottom, and I'm just like, what happened? I pop open a window in the blind to get a different angle on the creek bottom. And there he is. I mean, 16 yards, he's right here. I can't get on him. I don't care about the camera. Unfortunately, the one window in this blind that we needed to film out of that moment was a bit lower, and it would have taken a big adjustment with the camera. And so Kevin wasn't able to get on him. I get an arrow on the string, and now I'm ready to draw. Thank you, Father. That's that big framed chocolate horn 10-point. We've seen him 2 or 3 times this week. He's always between 70 and 50 yards. He's been coming out on this point, this opposite point. We've been burning holes over there in this point, and he popped out right here. I just happened to, I opened that window and he threw his head up. Kevin, I told Kevin, he said that, we would have had to have adjusted the windows. He had us. There was nothing we could do. He's right here. Bring it over. Show him that belly right there. Sweet September in the West, the wild, wild West. I think I'm calmed down just a bit enough to get down these stairs without breaking my neck. You wanna go look at him?
Let's go look at him.
Oh my gosh. The way the week shaped up, the highs and lows with all the encounters, you know, getting to hunt with my buddy Kevin. This was the quintessential cherry on top. He's right there. That arrow zipped through him. He took about 3 hops, stood there for a second looking around, and fell over right where he stands. Oh, here he is right here. Oh, he's bigger than what I thought. Oh my gosh. Set the Bowtech down. Look at this deer. This is awesome. Awesome. Great 3 here. He's got good 2s. His 3s are better. He's a little heavier than I thought. Chocolate rack. Look, the blind is right there. I mean, we're not 20 yards. Like I say, that arrow zipped through him. Thank you, Kevin Larson, the man behind the camera. This is his family's ranch. I've been out here hunting it in the past couple of years for antelope. This is the first year I've gotten to draw a deer tag, and look at this stud right here. Mature 5x5, as they say out here in Montana. He's not a 10-point in Montana. He's a 5x5. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's 10-point, Kevin. He's got 10 points. Oh my gosh. I was proud of myself. You know, I'd set my goals. I saw a few shooters. That was the one that I really had hoped to harvest, and it took passing on smaller bucks. It took making the right decisions on how to set up, and everything just came together, and I was just so very proud to have been given the opportunity. So a super big thanks to my buddy Kevin and his folks, Jim and Carla, for having me out to their place. I'm so fortunate to have gotten to know these people, and I look forward to all the memories that we have yet ahead of us. So thanks, guys.
I'm Mike McKay, wishing you all the best here at Sportsman of North America.
Thanks for watching Sportsman of North America. Go to www.sportsmanna.com to catch all the episodes you missed. Don't forget, Sportsman of North America Hunt Club gives away a free hunt each and every week. For an online social community for hunting and outdoors, where you can meet other hunters and share photos, videos, and hunting tips, SportsmanNA.com is the new destination for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Sportsman of North America, your ticket to the outdoors. We're changing lives one hunt at a time. Closed captioning is brought to you by Hunter Safety System. Saving lives is what we do. This has been a Sportsman Video production.